Well, the history books tell us the Spanish conquistadors came to the Americas in part to search for El Dorado, the lost city of gold.
Sure enough, they found gold 40 miles southeast of here in a canyon that is still called El Dorado.
The conquistadors are long gone, but El Dorado's a new home to a new breed of adventurer. And these new owners are hoping Las Vegans will take notice of El Dorado's past and future.
George Knapp of the I-Team has more in our special assignment series, Nevada Uncovered.
The mists of time have obscured much of the history of El Dorado Canyon, but a local family is doing its best to lift the veil from this once colorful corner of southern Nevada. The Spanish mined gold here as far back as 1703, but were killed off by Indians. 100 years later, the Mexicans arrived and met a similar fate. In 1861, white miners showed up to ask local Indians where to find gold.
In fact, the rocks we're standing on are is this little white quartz. And they says, you know where any of this is? And the Indians took them to a 5-foot wide quartz vein up on the side of that mountain there.
The mountain that sits just across the road from Tony Worley's business turned out to contain ridiculously rich deposits of silver and gold. It became the Techatticup Mine, which was in continuous operation for the next 80 years. Hundreds of tough customers flocked by foot or by steamboat to the desolate Colorado River settlement. Far more people than lived in the Las Vegas Valley.
There's claim jumpings and murders and renegade Indians, and I mean, it was just a lawless place. The closest law was Pioche, 300 miles away, or L.A.
Millions of dollars worth of rich ore was plucked from the mountain. In time, huge mining machines filled the air with noise and dust, and something close to a town was built. But the mine shut down for good at the outset of World War II. The town site was abandoned, the equipment left to rust. Today, though, El Dorado breathes new life. Tony Worley and his family have brought the place back from the dead, renovating some of the original structures, recreating others, adding new touches like a 5-story barn while retaining as much of the authentic feel as possible. El Dorado has become a regular stop for tour groups and seems especially popular with foreigners. Japan's version of Britney Spears visited this year, along with Playboy models and the TV show CSI. And it's been a backdrop in 4 movies, got itself blown up in one. The star of the new El Dorado remains the Techatticup Mine. It contains 3 miles of tunnels, hundreds of legends, and has been reopened for tours.
This is a true story about the guy that forgot his wooden tamper. Now he tried to, he had his hole dug, he had his black powder in there, and this is in 1905, and he tried to tamper with his chisel, and sure enough, it set a spark off that blew the chisel straight back out of the hole and right through his head. And they just buried him outside the mine somewhere. Now, when they brought a mule into the tunnel to haul these ore carts, the mule would spend his whole life inside the tunnel. And from what I understand, the mules, after maybe a month or so, would go completely blind. These were quite a luxury of these guys at the time rather than hammer and chisels. But can you imagine how much it took 2 guys to work this? It weighs about 100 pounds. It's solid steel. The air compress, it must have been quite a racket inside the mine to use this. And can you just imagine, I mean, the stuff falling all around you, super precarious.
El Dorado's rich past and promising future are becoming a solid draw for out-of-state visitors, but are still largely unknown to neighboring Las Vegans. Worley is confident that will change as more people get a look at the place.
Once they're here and they get to see the historical wall, they're amazed at all the stuff that happened here.